Oh, stressed about life in general? Or... Oh, yeah. Yeah, I feel like time can feel like sand through your fingers, right? And the more you want it to stay, the faster it slips through them. It scares you. What if what? Oh, yeah. Oh, I really get what you mean. You know, I used to hope that good things would happen through time, but I really felt like instead time just happened without me. And there I stood, you know? Um, yeah. Well, I know that if I'd let them, these thoughts would have devoured me, like, completely. I heard a few things during the years I was burnt out that profoundly changed this for me. There's this monk who said, "What if time does not pass, but comes to us endlessly like waves?" And it felt like when I heard that, I felt like that if time comes to us, then suddenly there's not this experience of loss anymore, but a feeling of fullness and peace, you know? Yeah, right? I also like to think that in the same category, you know, the saying, "this day will never come again." I like to think that days are not forever lost, but instead gathered like a treasure, a pile of days lived. So for every day that comes and is being lived, one gets richer. Hmm. I've also asked myself what really, really carries meaning for me. Instead of just feeling that life just flows by and getting so stressed from that, I dug down and what is meaning for me? Like being moved by art, a piece of music, a masterpiece of a film that you show me usually, poetry that really hits me, or a view when I dance, when I connect with the horse I'm working with, or like these random moments with a person when, you know, meaning just shimmers in the air. It's like you can cut it out when you walk away from there, you're changed a little bit. And you feel so rich all of a sudden. So yeah, genuine meetings with other people where I'm open and curious really creates meaning for me. Yeah. There's also the sheer adventure of facing everything life throws at you and see how it affects you. The adventure of like that molding you and what opportunities there are for growth, you know? I find that so meaningful and exciting. So, looking at all of this, I guess meaning for me is all of those moments when it hits me that I'm alive. And what a miracle that is. That's why I get so moved by, by like Barbie and Soul or Her. Oh my god. I always cry floods because there we get to see life through the eyes of an outsider, you know? So we wake up. We're reminded about what the essence of life is, and that we get to have that every day. Yeah. So what I do with all of this now is like, I try to reveal the lies that society has taught me, that I have to achieve this and this to have meaningful success in life. I try to lessen their value to me. We don't exist to achieve and consume. And we know that intellectually, but we need to reveal that lie all the time because it sneaks in anyway. So instead, I want to fill my life as much as possible with the things that are really, truly meaningful. And just like you always say, it's the simple things. But that's not the whole picture, the whole solution. I also came across this sociologist. Oh my god, that's so weird. Anyway, doing sociology. He's called Hartmut Rosa, and he coined this amazing expression and concept, the uncontrollability of the world. Is the title of his most famous book. Hartmut Rosa, how am I gonna explain this? He addresses the fact that our lives are deprived of meaning today. And his theory as to why is that the world and life itself appear dead to us because we try our very best to close our fist around them and control them. And when we do that, they become silent. Just dead instruments. As opposed to the world being mysterious and uncontrollable and resonating with us. It's a term of his, to resonate. And he says that resonance with the world is our natural state, which we obviously pervert by our desire to manipulate the world for us to feel safe, to reach success, put the world under our feet. And when we do that, the resonance with it dies. So, what we need to do to regain resonance again, he says, is to acknowledge the fact that we cannot control everything. To actually embrace that. We can run with the world and our life in it. We don't have to be passive. We shouldn't be passive. But never manipulate it to the extent that it's just an instrument for us to reach something else with, you know? So, when experiencing life is the goal, resonance, and with it, meaning, reappears. It's heavy as shit. I realize it's like living in these two paradigms is like night and day, because it's like the difference between real wild beauty and fabricated plastic beauty in an abstract sense. You know what I mean? Because the fabricated one is pretty, but has no deeper meaning. It just leaves us hollow. So, understanding this, I've tried to loosen my grip and let go a little. You know, let life happen to me. Let it change me instead of like convulsively trying to quench it. And when I did let go, what came back was gratitude. And I saw true beauty all around me. And I got fascinated by the uncontrollability of the world instead of just fearing it and wanting to run away from it. I mean, it's raw and uncomfortable, but it is fascinating. Thrilling, even nowadays. Yeah. So what I try to come to with all this is that it all connects to my age anxiety, time running out, stress. Because, you know, I wanted to engineer my life. Before I understood this, oh man, I wanted to engineer my life to contain the maximum amount of things I wanted to achieve and do. Like a lot of other people do today. And there's a lot. You know, I would like to do, if I could, 5 different bachelors and have 5 different careers and still have time to live in different countries, but still be close to my family in Sweden and learn how to kite surf and work on a ranch and paraglide in New Zealand. God knows what. Well, none of these things are bad, but when they just became things in the staple itself became the goal for me. And my dreams were just building blocks. Instrumentalized parts in a puzzle. You know what I mean? They had no real qualitative value in them. It was only the measurable quantity that brought me satisfaction. But that satisfaction left me so hollow. Like, passively anxious, even. Yeah. It was really tangible. Like, this is like, I don't know, like a substance abuse or something. I don't know. It felt really, really shitty in my soul. So, well, I do think it's a good thing that we have a lot of opportunities. I'm not saying I don't like opportunities. And that we can do practically anything we want. I mean, we're so fortunate. But when people say, oh, you can do anything you want, we drown in the opportunities because we try to do, we're thinking that we can do everything we want. And with limited time, we cannot do everything we want. So we drown in that. And when all of this had sunk into me, I realized that there actually is some truth in that there's beauty in boundaries. That finite opportunities and resources are a good thing. Because that gives meaning to them, I think. It's quite hard to swallow. But it makes one sober up. For me, it makes reality crisper. And when we also realize that it's quality that matters, not quantity and instrumentalization, I think we find peace in our limited time because we're present. We don't feel like we miss anything. And we can take sober decisions about, going to see our old grandma before she dies. Because we want to. Because it's meaningful. Not because one's supposed to. Out of guilt. And then we don't feel like we miss anything. We feel like life is so full. Because with these perspectives, life really does feel fuller and richer. I can't deny that. Yeah, it's like complete night and day. Life feels so full and rich when we let go and feel resonance with the world. But I'm really not saying that this is not a struggle for me. You must not think that. almost every day I feel these two paradigms having a war inside me. Like, depending on, you know, if I'm hungry, if I'm sad or weak or tired, you know, the other one wins. And I'm not saying I don't experience pain in life. It's just that, I don't know, the more ordinary forms of pain, nowadays I try to see that as something interesting. But if something would really happen, like if you weren't around anymore, man, I get, everything would feel so empty and gray. I need you in my life. Don't ever disappear. Or if, you know, a real tragedy happened with my future kids, you know, that, I'm not saying that wouldn't, you know, tackle me out of this. Without you to talk to, things would be so difficult and hard to handle. But most of the time, I feel so much more at peace than I did before. So, yeah, things have opened up, you know? And I don't have this inner stress where I fight this giant clock that just keeps ticking, you know? It's a terrible place to be in. Now that I've seen something else and experienced something else. I wish that for you. Yeah. Honestly, nowadays, the thought can strike me that I could die now and I'd be content with that. No, don't take me wrong. Don't look at me like that. No, of course not. No, hear me out. No, of course I want to find, you know, my life partner and have kids and get that horse farmer dream off, you know, but I already feel like those things are bonuses because my life is so rich, and I'm so grateful for these 27 years I've been living it. I don't need more to feel like my time here is something whole, a whole life that is being lived. You know, everything else from here is a bonus. Okay, this is weird to talk about. But that's how far it goes, really. I'm so at peace now. And the foundations of me. And you know I'm devastated sometimes and feel down, but it only goes so deep. It's like I have some kind of life vest bringing me up to the surface all the time. It doesn't even feel like I'm the one doing it. Because obviously all of that peace and reassurance and trust and resonance with the world is God to me. They do deserve the credit for that. It's not my own doing, all of it. We don't talk about spirituality, you and me. But one doesn't have to go through God to experience them, I think. Because for me, God is everything and everywhere beauty is. So, all right, enough now. You still want to stop this train? Want to get off and go home again? Can't take the speed it's moving. Or you want to ride along and see where it takes you?